met. Sincere apologies for that. But conversations continue this morning. Now, how can these two interesting groups of people be better commercial drivers and police? Yes, want relations to be better. Some drivers, if you've ever taxi or the bus before, particularly, right? You see taxi drivers and bus drivers in particular, they get immediately upset once they get to see a policeman, particularly when they go to a checkpoint. Yet, there are some areas where they get to, they're always happy to see the policeman because they've already sorted them. Chief, Sean, sir. They know, I already see your guy. And then they do the illegal turns. And everybody's happy. No fuss, no muss. I need to remind us that if you, just in case you forgot, during the NSAS campaign, remember, there was a group of police officers. I think that was in Lagos State and also in Rivers State, right? Right. Then just coming and they say, "Oh, that person is bad." When they saw this, they said, "No, these particular people." Now then, it must have felt like a thing of joy if you were a policeman back then to be pointed out by citizens as a good person. In the midst of all of the negativity, you were pointed as being good. Must have been a great feeling. So how do we replicate that great feeling across the board?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
017-923-0002, 0817923-0003 at Nigeria Info on Facebook and X, Nigeria Info PH. The WhatsApp number is 08090306416. Zion's on the line from VRA. Zion, good morning to you.
Yeah, Jude, good morning to you.
Good morning, please.
The question is it how we will foster their relationship or how they will foster their relationship? My brother, the drivers should just keep giving them their money as they are collecting it. That's the only way the relationship can continue. The day the drivers stop giving them money, problem will start.
But the drivers are complaining that they are collecting too much money from them. Some people say when they impound their motorcycles or their tricycles, instead of paying what the law says, maybe 5,000 or 10, they'll tell them pay 150,000 naira, and they don't ever give them receipts. It's like I see the police is now the place where,
That is the see the drivers and police in southeast. Underline that word, southeast. It's like husband and wife. The day husband no give wife money, no problem. But the day husband give wife money, you are a sweetest man in this world. You are in short, you are not cheating. You are a toxic man. You are a loving husband. It's how the police and the motorists in this part of the world are behaving. And there is no amount of checking or whatever you want to do that will stop. There's one funny part of us in this region. Oh, they are good ones. They are bad eggs. I keep telling you that not one is good. And I challenge you in a public debate.
Hey, but if you say not one is good, like I mentioned just before we started, that, we saw pictures where, the hospital said, "Oh no, these group of policemen, these are the good ones. So it's those ones that they're not very good, though." And they didn't march in front of them. In fact, those ones encouraged them to protest peacefully.
Who are the people that gas the protesters? Who gas them?
It's not the good ones, the bad ones.
They're the ones that you.
Zion. Okay, all right. Alex on Facebook says the police should explain the reasons for stopping drivers, not with intimidation. Alex says, all right, so we stop them, explain, But sometimes even when you sound polite, you can be rude. If you've ever seen those videos when police stop black Americans, right? They're not raising their voice, but you can tell immediately there's some animosity, there's some antagonistic drive in it. So it's a very murky water that we are facing. Ida from Nkoro. Ida, how are friends, the police people, going to be nicer to commercial drivers?
My brother, the police in Nkoro are very friendly.
Okay, there you go. You see now?
They always play ball with us.
See, there you go.
Advise us. Anything Nkoro, you can't say anything crime. They will just sit it down. Advise you, cause it's not good. No, that's one they need to call Dogo. They say we should call him King Dogo. He's a king in Nkoro Kingdom. We're always calling King in Obobo too. So police are very friendly. If you come to UP Junction, same. Depending on the way you interact with them or depending on the way you play with them. Most of when you see them, good morning, bro, call them by their name. Good morning, how are you? How's work? They will let you go. There are bad ones, but there are good ones. Depending on the way you talk to them. We have good police people. Very fantastic police people.
Okay, at least
very, very well.
At least in Nkoro.
Bless you.
All right, in Nkoro, they are fantastic. I don't know if Zion listened to that. Did you hear that? They are good policemen. They have a good relationship with the people in Nkoro. So, what exactly are the people in Nkoro doing that needs to be replicated in Diobu, along the streets, at mile 1 all the way to mile 4? The most notorious junction in Port Harcourt when it comes to extortion is the mile 3 police station. That's the one that's very close to or nearly opposite the RSU gate. Almost every day, I keep talking about. I know what really beats the imagination of that particular police station is that whilst they're on the road, right, it's barely a 300-yard walk. Barely a 300-yard walk, right? And you get into that division where they have the Ogas, the DP, and everybody there sat down in their AC offices. But they somehow don't get to take seriously what the people on the streets are complaining about. That particular roundabout, that the men and sometimes the women there are always extorting money from the commercial drivers. People, in fact, it's so bad now that unless you must go through that route as a commercial driver, right, people will look for alternative routes. I've heard bus drivers say, look, if there was a way to have the flyover straight from Rumokoro down to my one, they would do that and avoid that particular place. Because sometimes, even when you are not doing anything wrong, you could be accused your car could be impounded. But then again, let's flip it. Many of these drivers don't have proper documentation. In fact, some of the most stolen vehicles within this region, talk about Nigeria, happen to be commercial vehicles. So why wouldn't they stop and search you? Why shouldn't they stop and search you? Why shouldn't they ask for your papers? Once again, it's a very dicey relationship. 0923-00002 0817923-0003. All right. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and X at Nigeria Info PH. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. Uzodima is on the line this morning. Uzodima is speaking to us from a chair. Uzodima, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, please.
You know the problem with Nigerian police and the commercial drivers? Bet you 95% of commercial drivers in Nigeria doesn't have their papers complete. That's the problem. And they always want sharp moves, so they try to find their way to make their money. Because most of the cars are under high purchase or they are driving for somebody. That's the little problem. Thank you.
All right, Uzodima, thank you. So if that really is the problem, that means the police are probably more culpable in this fracas that they have. Because if you know that somebody is doing something illegally, why then would you aid and abet? Because the really big demon about this conversation of, extortion and police, unfriendliness to some or to most commercial drivers is the fact that the police assume that first and foremost, you as a commercial driver, you do not have your papers correct. You're not complete. You're not valid driver. And so if they, with this assumption, with this maybe stereotyping, come and the next best thing is rather than maybe serve you punitive measures so that you can correct that error, they would rather you pay them so that you can continue this error. But let me ask, isn't it wise, prudent for you as a driver to have your documents, stop paying these monies? I'm very sure whatever the cost for the new licensing process is right now, I'm sure it's going to be much cheaper than you paying 5,000, 10,000 every other day when your car gets haunted. Once again, I don't know. Good morning, presenter. You see, the drivers and their unions should make sure every commercial vehicle is duly registered and with their complete papers, so the police will not have reason to be collecting money from them. So when it's you and you refuse to give him money, police will ask you for your papers. If you have complete papers, he doesn't have any reason to keep you. If he does, then you call the police control room. If this continues, then the relationship will automatically become friendly on its own. Effiong from Uniport. Say on its own. If we do what is necessary, it will just revert. There won't be any more drama. All right. Chi here says, Jude, good morning. Here, the police people, they know what they are doing. They know that many of these drivers, whether they have or they don't have, are always in a hurry to meet a certain target. And so they make sure that they delay them and frustrate their efforts. It's not really about trying to search for who has papers. It's just they know these people have ready money and they will do their best to collect the ready money every day. Stand on the road, Jude. Some of these policemen can take up to 150,000 naira every day. 150,000 naira every day? I think it's plausible. If they take 100 naira, let's math, people. They will need about 1,500 vehicles to be from, if I'm not mistaken. All right. My math isn't so bad. 150,000 naira. If we divide that by 100, right? I was right. I mean to stop 1,500 vehicles every day on that particular route. And then their formations are usually 3 or 4 in a team. Right. So if it can make 150, this is money we're talking about here. 150. Hey, stop. Give you 100 naira. We'll be looking at this thing, no, for real. I think it's time that, people just stop one day. When you see people, just stop and look at them. Maybe that's what will help. Maybe if we start to ask, Ross, how much should I make today? I don't know. What do I know? But conversations continue. Keep sending them across to part of the conversation at Nigeria Info. Peach.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info.